Well, a surprising last couple of matches of the season led us to actually go through and make the playoffs. It's quite surprising to me and quite surprising to the players and probably quite surprising to you as well. Unfortunately, things didn't quite pan out and we ended up losing the first semifinal. I don't even think it was a semifinal, the first match we ended up playing. But regardless, what we need to do is we need to rethink our strategies for the offseason. We need to sign some new players. We need to make sure that this is the season that we get promoted to Sky Bet League 2. Let's get started on Season 4 of Taskmaster FC. Well, as we end this, our third season as Taskmaster FC, I want to welcome everybody to episode number 23 of the Taskmaster FC save. We've ended Season 3. Some people might say on a bit of a down note. I'd say we did quite well, exceeding expectations. I was expecting kind of mid to lower table-ish. We ended up making the playoffs, but ended up losing. Let's go ahead and look at our season review here. Some of the new players that we've brought in, and a lot of the new players that we brought in played a significant number of games for us this season. Judy Love in attack, 18 goals, 3 assists. Al Murray on the right wing here played 36 times, 6 goals, 10 assists. Moan Rizwan was our starting keeper, 42 appearances. Let's see here. Will Anderson, not as much. Rod Gilbert played well. Ian Sterling, we ended up bringing in 33 appearances. Ursula Carlson, another 40 appearances, 17 goals. I mean, this team, there was a lot of turnover this past season. And as a result, we ended up doing quite well considering the amount of players we ended up having to get rid of and the amount of players we ended up bringing in. Season results here, our board said it was expected to avoid relegation from the Vanderbilt National League. We finished 7th. Did see a boost in home attendance. Remember, in our very first season, we were getting 6, 7, 800 people per game. Now we're up to 1,600. Only 33% of our capacity, so it's definitely plenty of room to grow. I also like that the board confidence is now a C-, that they're disappointed in my performance in the playoff, despite the fact that they told me to avoid relegation. So they told me to avoid being down here. I end up here, and I still disappoint. It's like talking to my parents all over again. Competition results, again, it was very mixed form throughout the course of the season. We had some streaks where we won quite a few games. We had some streaks where we lost a couple of games. But if you really think about what we've done here, 75 points, a couple of those ties we end up turning into victories. You end up coming up the table a little bit. I don't think we were anywhere near where we needed to be in terms of our squad and our form in order to get promotion here. But it was really interesting that a 15-loss season gets you into the playoffs. 22 wins, don't get me wrong, is quite good. 15 losses ends up getting you into the playoffs in this league. So it really is a league where lots of teams really do have an opportunity to get that promotion spot. Unfortunately, the playoffs, only one person or only one team can go up. This year it was Southend United, so congrats to them and FC Halifax Town for making it to Sky Bet League 2. And that will be us next season, one way or another. That being said, if we take a look at it says may not have been the best of seasons. Really? Well, I thought our finances were quite good. This is a little bit weird where it says we didn't have any changes. I don't know how that turned out, but here's how we lined up. As you can see, I tend to keep to a pretty consistent starting lineup here. We did have to make some substitutions throughout the season, particularly in December, where we had a lot of turnover in regards to just the number of games we ended up playing. I had to make some substitutions. I had to kind of rotate the squad a little bit, and that ended up being a little bit of a wobbly bit for December, and that kind of maybe cost us a little bit higher place in the playoffs. But regardless, we did quite well here. So, hey, good God, I'm 40 years old. Getting there. Sophie Duker, fans player of the season, young player of the season. Signing of the season was Josh Thomas, the goalkeeper, which is kind of interesting because I think Josh Thomas only played like 4 games for us. Played 8, 10 conceded. That's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, especially for a backup keeper. We'll probably be keeping Josh Thomas around. Sophie Duker, unfortunately, as I went and looked at some of the contracts that we had, somehow I didn't notice that Sophie Duker is signed for a Portuguese Championship Group D team. So unfortunately, Sophie Duker will not be coming back next season, which is a bit sad. So that being said, just everything that Sophie Duker's done for this team. You look at the very first season, they're 18 goals, 6 assists, 14 and 7, 6 and 6, not quite as strong of a performance despite 41 appearances across all competitions for all 3 seasons. I tip your hat to you, I tip my hat to you, rather, Sophie Duker, for all that you have done for this club. Thank you so much. Judy Love here, 18 goals, Sam Campbell with 12 assists, most player of the match, Ursula Carlson with 6. Record breakers, Judy Love scored 4 goals in a game. Same thing, most players by a goal, or most goals by a player in league match, most league goals by a player, 68. Roisin Connolly still holds that. Youngest player is Josh Thomas, who's now 19 years old. We did pay a little bit of a transfer fee for Karen O'Leary. I don't know if that's good or bad. Probably not good considering that Karen O'Leary is on a non-contract. It is what it is. History in the making. We look sharp right out of the gate. Few will have expected this outcome, but they gave themselves a chance and have reaped the rewards. I'd agree with that. I think we've reaped quite a few rewards this season. I don't like the fact that it just says losers up there. Everything we've all done, all I get is losers. So fantastic with that. Collective bonus payout, everybody gets paid, which is nice. I have already designated some players who will not be coming back next season. Just looking at the amount of money that we're paying some of these players and just their ability, a few players are going to have to go. I believe I went ahead and assigned Will Anderson and just said, you're done. Maybe I kept Will Anderson around because he is quite young. I don't remember. I don't remember exactly who I assigned to say, you know what, we're done here. I know these two are gone, or these are gone. Tim Key on 600 pounds a week just for 2-star rating is not going to be somebody who is going to be a part of this team next year. Same with Josh Whitcomb, which is unfortunate. Whitcomb, very, very important to this team. Again, massive goal contributions, massive assists here in the first 2 seasons. Just could not find himself in the team. Josh Whitcomb, Taskmaster Series 1 champion and champion of champions champion for the very first set of champion of champions. That's the most time I've ever said champions in a sentence in my entire life. Regardless, Josh Whitcomb, thank you for your service. I appreciate you. Tim Key, we brought in Tim Key and served a purpose the first 2 seasons, played significantly well. Unfortunately, we just brought in some better players on top of him. Tim Key will be leaving. That frees up some wage budget. These individuals right here, I'm kind of trying to get an idea of who we end up bringing in next season. I'm trying to keep some of these non-contract players in, but we are just, again, trying to build on top of what we've got. Unfortunately, we're not probably going to see a huge amount of growth. I mean, playing time is certainly a big deal in regards to growth over time, but so is training facilities, and our facilities, unfortunately, just are not good simply because of where we've come from so far. We don't have the money to be able to reinvest in our facilities at this point in time, and so growth is going to be very difficult. We are going to have to look at the transfer market in order to bring in some players that are going to be better than the players that we have now. I definitely think we need to bring in just a really, really strong striker. Don't get me wrong, I love the 2 strikers that we have now, but we need somebody who's going to bang in 30 goals. I think that's going to be the key for us, is if we can get a striker who gets 30, 35 goals in a season, we're set up for success. I'd like to bring in a couple more defensive players. Overall, I think our midfield and our attacking midfield's quite good. But again, we're just going to be looking for any players that we can bring in this season that are going to make us better. So as I continue through the offseason, I'll bring you back if we start signing some players, if we start releasing some players. I will keep you in the loop on all of the changes for this squad for Taskmaster FC season number 4. So I decided to step up our approach to free transfers and really just trying to get in the absolute best players that I possibly can, considering the situation that we're in. We are still a Vanarama National League team. Some of the players that we're trying to get didn't really want to sign for us, but we did get 4 key signings. And when I say key signings, I mean signings that are considered some of the best players in the Vanarama National League and have jumped us from 251 to be promoted to 18-1 to be promoted. So definitely some big signings taking place, and that does not mean that we are done, but what it does mean is that we've got 4 name in the game individuals that we need to add. So we are going to start off with the lovely Nish Kumar. That's going to be an interesting one to consider there. So we'll get rid of Nish Kumar there. We'll spin this 3 more times and get 3 more name in the game Taskmaster contestants that are going to be competing for us in this season's Vanarama National League. Oh, Mike Wozniak, we are getting some absolute Taskmaster legends in these spins here. 2 more to go, and I cannot wait to see who we're going to get next. And again, that's not to say we're not going to get more players. There are definitely some players that I'm still considering signing here. And it looks like Madeline Same from Taskmaster New Zealand Series 1. And 1 more to go here that we will add to the squad. I'm really excited to start this season because I really think this is going to give us just the push that we need to get over the top. And who could forget the legendary Ray O'Leary from Taskmaster New Zealand Series 4. We got a lot of New Zealand Taskmaster contestants participating in our squad over the last couple of seasons. So that being said, I will bring you back and show you how they fit into the squad, along with a few players, unfortunately, we've either sold or had to release. So prior to showing you some of our new signings, I do want to show you some of the players that we did release over the course of the season. And there were some players that I just didn't get a chance to talk to you about during the course of the season that we ended up having to release. So unfortunately, Chris Ramsey ended up leaving us in November 30th to be exact. He is currently contracted to East Thurrock United. Go and look at the career stats here. Definitely played in our very first season, just really didn't get into the squad the second season. Certainly wasn't going to get into the squad this season. So an easy decision to go ahead and release Chris Ramsey here. Jenny Eclair, again, just a team player here in the second season when we were in the Van Riemann National South. 5 goals, 5 assists. Got into the team just a little bit here with 4 games, but just A, wasn't producing, and B, was so far down on the pecking order that releasing Jenny Eclair was just probably our best option here. Unfortunately, I don't think Jenny Eclair's found a club at this point in time. No, she has not. Carrie Godleman, we ended up also releasing on a free. Again, just participated well towards the end of last season, but just was not good enough to continue moving forward. 18 appearances, 5 assists there, 42 total appearances in the previous season with 6 assists rather. So definitely a couple of important parts of the squad. We did end up losing over the course of the end of last season, and then beginning of this season, we did lose a couple key players. I did mention Whitcomb and Tim Key. Unfortunately, Sam Campbell was one of the casualties of our purge. Simply reason being is that just wanted too much money, wanted more than £1,000 per week. And don't get me wrong, Sam Campbell has good caliber for this team, but unfortunately that is just too much. Can I come in with another contract here? Let's see if I can maybe get him a little bit cheaper. I don't know. Ask agent about availability. Just not interested, so totally understand. Sam Campbell, wish you the best of luck moving forward. I'm sure you'll find a team that will be willing to bring you in and hopefully play you a little bit more. And well, not that we didn't play him a lot, but we did. But in the grand scheme of things, he'll find a good home. Like a lost puppy. Just kidding. Anyways, players that we've brought in. Oh, also, other transfers out. Sophie Duker, we already mentioned, was going to leave to the 4th tier of Portuguese football. I don't think it's the 4th tier. It's like the 4th division or something like that. Yeah, Portugal Championship, Group D. I don't even know what that means. All I know is that Sophie Duker's gone, making significantly more money, so I definitely don't blame Sophie Duker for that. One of the best players we've had in the history of our squad in terms of number of goals, appearances, literally played just about every single game for us in some way, shape, or form over the last couple of seasons. Sophie Duker, best of luck to you moving forward. And then a surprise, actually transfer fee that was paid is Al Murray. Al Murray to Chesterfield. Chesterfield are in Sky Bet League 2. And Al Murray, on a free transfer here, definitely participated significantly with, it's good, those words don't even go together, had a massive contribution to us last season with 5 goals, 9 assists, 37 total appearances. We were absolutely happy to have him, wanted to keep him on for next season. Unfortunately, he wanted to go. Understandable. Chesterfield wanted to take him. I don't know if that's a huge change in salary. Probably a little bit. I'm not quite sure exactly what we were paying him, but Al Murray, best of luck to you in the future. I know you'll continue to grow and develop. Speaking of growth and development, we've brought in 4 players so far. I couldn't find any good players prior to the teams that are in the higher leagues releasing some of their youth players. So we ended up bringing in 4 of them so far, with still quite a few looking to bring in over the next couple of days/weeks. First being Nish Kumar. Nish Kumar, ho, 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 ho. We have found a lovely left back here. Nish Kumar, 4.5 current stars. Wow. This is a player that is going to be a game changer for us. Definitely would like to see a little bit better in training, but those 4.5 stars are going to be huge for us. Look at all those 10s in the attributes. Not too keen on the height here at 5'6". So I don't know what that says about us defensively, but we definitely can use Nish Kumar going forward. As you said, what was it? Last in PE, first in being a legend, something along those lines. So hopefully that's not necessarily the case in here. He can be first or second in PE because, well, he needs to be athletic to play at wingback. Mike Wozniak, we also brought in a free transfer here. Excellent center midfielder here. Dutch, nonetheless, capped at the under-20s. He is 4-star current ability. I think this is a key signing for our midfield as we kind of continue to bring players in over the top that can maybe replace either some of the players that aren't quite as good anymore or maybe some of the players that have left us. But Mike Wozniak's going to be fantastic for us. Madeline Same, get another 4.5-star current ability. We've brought in some excellent players so far. The dribbling, the finishing. This will be a huge inside forward for us, which means we may not have to play 2 at the top. We might be able to play an attacking midfielder here if Madeline Same can produce some goals for us, especially with that finishing, that dribbling. Excellent pace here. I think Madeline Same is an excellent signing for us. And then Ray O'Leary here at right back will definitely slot in immediately as a starter here. 3-star ability, maximum potential here. Again, Very, very good player, very good physical attributes. Would like to see a little bit more in terms of some of the technicals here, but definitely will be a fantastic signing for us. So again, 4 key signings here. We're looking at bringing in a couple of other players. So we've got our transfer center here. We have 1, 2, oh gosh, those are all the trials. 3 people we're currently trying to sign. We'll just kind of have to wait and see how that works out for us. Get rid of the trials. There we go. Okay. So just 2 players that we're not trying to bring in on trial. We have another center back, which I'm not sure I'm going to try to keep. We'll kind of have to see how that turns out. Another attacking midfielder. I need to bring in a striker. I think that's one of the key things left in this season. One of the things that I want to make sure I do for this squad is bring in a striker for us to really push this team forward. Not that we have anything wrong with Ursula Carlson or Judy Love, but definitely I would like one more in here to really push us forward. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see how that turns out. In terms of the season preview, as I mentioned before, we were kind of down a little bit. We were all the way down here at the bottom. We bumped ourselves up to 20-1, which is not bad when you consider just kind of the parity of the league that's here. 20-1 being in 14th place is not a bad place to be. What that tells me is that there's lots of teams here that have a really good opportunity to kind of push forward here. So I think a couple more signings might push us up towards that 10-1 range. That's really kind of what I'm looking for. But we'll bring you back here towards the end of the transfer window to see if there's any other players that we bring in and hopefully push us towards a possibility of promotion for next season. We'll see you then. Well, we ended up finishing the summer with a couple of more transfers in. As I mentioned before, we had some players that we were really looking to sign, and we managed to give them name in the game names. Game in the name, name in the game, whatever. They're all Taskmaster contestants. We've got Justine Smith here from Taskmaster New Zealand Series 3 here. Justine Smith is an attacking winger. Can work on either side of the field for, 3.5-star card ability. Definitely will be in the rotation. Got Justine Smith from Crystal Palace. We've got Dave Gorman here. Again, another 3.5-star center back. Absolutely superb. Will be fantastic. Finally, a little bit of height, which will be nice, and hopefully eliminate some of those corners where they were getting the head on the ball and getting in the back of the net. So hopefully we'll eliminate some of those moving forward, which makes us a better team moving forward. Frankie Boyle, new striker here. 3.5-star card ability. Same potential here. He's a Scottish 23-year-old from Beckenham and Redbridge. Was really hesitant on bringing in a player from a lower league. Didn't look great in terms of, gosh, I'm on the wrong screen here. I don't want Dagenham and Redbridge. I want this guy's history, career stats. Only 10 goals last season, but I think with the right formation, with the right players, this player can really, really break out here. Again, we're looking for that 20, 30 goal a season striker. Could be Frankie Boyle. And then lastly, we did end up actually losing Josh Thomas to Southampton. He wanted £1,300 per appearance. And we said, you know what, you can go off to Southampton. So he's a youngster at Southampton. I'm not quite sure exactly how that's going to turn out for him. But Josh Thomas, wish you the best of luck in the future. And to replace him, we brought in James Acaster, who, again, is on a non-contract here. But is a good replacement, and I think will be a superb backup goalkeeper to Moan Rizwan. So that being said, we do have a little bit of money left in the budget here, about £1,000 left to spend. I may bring in another player, may not. I'm pretty pleased with what we've done with the squad when you consider that all of these players here essentially are new to the team. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 starters are brand new. And we do have some starters that are down here, but 7 brand new starters is something to be really, really pleased with in terms of what we were able to do with the squad. Moan Rizwan, you better earn your £1,100 per week because you're making significantly more than any other player in the team. But that being said, we are kind of getting ready for our first game here. I think this is the formation we're going to go ahead and start off with. We're going to continue with that 4-2-4 with the wide wingers here. We may switch this up a little bit later, but I think for now, this is exactly what we want to do here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this, and we'll be having Moan Rizwan in goal. Defensively, we're looking at Kumar, Gorman, Cooper, and O'Leary, so definitely some name changes there. Wozniak and TN will be in the middle field. Same and Justine Smith will be our wingers, and then Frankie Boyle and Ursula Carlson up top. Judy Love will probably get into the rotation here again. I feel like we've got quite a good squad here. It's definitely a small squad, but I think that this is going to be one that is going to be much more competitive than what we had last year. We were quite competitive last year, but we are currently 20-1 to be promoted here. It's much better than what we were at the start of the transfer window when we were down here. We were actually below Western Supermare. We were looking at 200-1 to go up. This has fluctuated a little bit, but we do have 2 players in the Media Dream 11 here, Nish Kumar as our left back and Mike Wozniak as our central midfielder. So I really feel like we're starting to turn a corner here with this save, and we'll get started. I'm actually going to bring you the first game today. Oh, how exciting. A game that's going to be shown during our transfer little video here. That's super exciting. I'm so excited, as you can tell. We're going to go ahead and get to that tactical meeting here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you back here in just a moment. There might be a few little things that I'm actually going to change, and then I'll be with you here in just a moment. So we're going to go ahead and keep with the lineup that we saw last time. The only difference here is I did make a couple of changes to just some of the instructions and the roles that these individuals are playing, just to try to give us a little bit of a new look. I was a little bit concerned about the two wing backs here, the complete wing backs pushing forward. So Nish Kumar, I did decide to leave back a little bit. So that way we have a little bit more defensively. But again, we'll just kind of have to wait and see how this turns out. If we need to make some changes to the formation, we can. But let's move forward here, because I'm really excited to get going here in the 4th season of Taskmaster FC. Can we get this team to Sky Bet League 2? Can we start off on the right foot? I'm certainly hoping so. But again, you never know with these types of saves, because I've messed this up many times before, and I'm sure I will mess it up many times afterwards. But let's get this started and let's get this game underway and really see if we can make a difference in what we did last year. Let's see if we can improve on our start. Let's see if we can improve on just everything in general here. And I thought we were in purple for a second. I got really excited, and then I realized we were in yellow. Hey, Justine Smith with the interception here. Seems to work the ball down the right-hand side here. Justine Smith looks like he's going to get crossed into the box. It's picked up by the Scunthorpe keeper. And so we may get another opportunity here if we can get control of the ball. Looks like Frankie Boyle does a good job to get it. Gets it to Wozniak. Wozniak out to Madeline Same. Same works down the line. Tries to maneuver but can't. Scunthorpe gets in the way. We get the ball deep to Boyle. Same to Justine Smith. And just like that, 1 minute into the game, it is 1-0. And that is absolutely fantastic. Where I thought Frankie Boyle might have been offsides there. But a good job to keeping it in. Wozniak gets the ball to Boyle. Boyle kind of pivots and turns, gets it to Same in the box, who finds Justine Smith and just rips it into the back of the net. And it is 1-0 to Chesham United, immediately getting a goal and putting us in front. Absolutely love that. And we'll want to see more of that in the future. Just keep scoring goals. Keep doing our part to win these games. The more we can win early, the better. And now we continue with the highlight here. Madeline Same kind of takes it in on herself and just ends up firing it over the top of the net. That'll be a goal kick to Scunthorpe United. We continue with the highlights here. I'm not sure how long our highlights are going to last. Looks like Scunthorpe United end up retrieving the ball here. Chucks it forward over the top. What appears to be maybe Nish Kumar. Unfortunately, that ball ends up getting into the box and headed over the top of the net. And thankfully, still remains 1-0 to Chesham United. Looked pretty good today. Again, don't like all of these highlights right back in a row. Definitely would like some more offensive highlights as opposed to defensive ones, but just like that, it's 1-1. Because Daisy Mae Cooper, once again, cannot head a ball. And I'm incredibly frustrated. That might just be the end of Daisy Mae Cooper, because I've seen that time and time again. Just an innocent ball floated in the box, and Daisy Mae Cooper wants absolutely nothing to do with a header here. And just completely misses her mark. Not much Mohan Rizwan can do about that. It's 1-1. And like I said, it's been the MO of the past couple seasons. They get an opportunity, they're going to score. We need to score here as well. Jenny Tien with the corner. Gets it to Cooper. Unfortunately, nothing to do there. It's back to Same, who it seems to take a weird deflection, but it manages to go into the back of the net. It's 2-1 Chesham United. We'll definitely take it. A very bizarre set of events here. Tien with the corner. Gets into the box. Cooper tries to head it off to somebody closer to score. Gets it back to Tien. Same just kind of moves it to the center, tees it up. Looks like it goes off of a Scunthorpe United defender. Regardless, it ends up in the back of the net. And we'll take that 2-1 lead heading into the first 20 minutes of the game. It's definitely been an offensive fire show today. At least to start off with the game. Madeline Same with a goal and an assist so far. And looks like we're kind of dull things down just a little bit here. Unfortunately, Scunthorpe United are going to have a corner here. It's cleared out by Ray O'Leary, but it goes back to Scunthorpe. And looks like they are going to just kind of take their time working the ball kind of in and out here. Going to work the ball back. No, they end up working it to the outside. And Jenny Tien just brings down somebody in the box. That's an immediate penalty. I mean, that's a call somebody could make from a mile away here. And it's up to Mohan Rizwan to prevent this from being a 2-all game 32 minutes into the game. And unfortunately, fortunately for us, it's off the post. And a cross back in very close to being scored. The highlight continues as Scunthorpe United continue to maintain possession. That is a very fortunate miss for Chesham United, as Scunthorpe United could have very easily gotten back into this game and tied it up at 2. But fortunately with that goalpost, it remains 2-1 Chesham United. And we head into the second half here with a 2-goal lead. Fortunate to have it. I'm going to go ahead and make a substitution because Cooper... bring on David Correos. That just means that we may need to bring in another center back. I don't know. I was disappointed in that. I was disappointed with Tien with that penalty. So let's bring in Beckett. I'm trying not to make all my substitutions here. I like having a full bench, a bench that can actually go through and make a difference here. Unfortunately, Carlson and Boyle haven't done a whole lot up top yet. That doesn't mean that that's not something that can continue in the future, but we're going to go ahead and continue with that cautious mentality. It does give us the lead. I think we can find another gear. And we'll just try to... There we go. Fire some people up here a little bit and see if we can get some momentum going into that second half here and maybe get a third goal and regain, or I should say take a 2-goal lead. It'll certainly be a nice feeling moving into the latter part of this game because we would like to start with the win today. Unfortunately, Scunthorpe United have the ball. They're already going to work the ball into the box here. And, ooh, that was very, very close. A good stop by Moan Rizwan. As that was labeled for the far post, he manages to get his left hand down and make a save. But that does lead to a corner for Scunthorpe United. And they get the ball into the box here. Moan Rizwan comfortably handles it and looks to move the ball up the field quickly. But it does end the highlight, which I'm perfectly fine with. If we dull things down a little bit, take our time, not really stress things out here. It looks like Frankie Boyle is going to get a corner in. And Justine Smith's going to turn it around. Same, who's been on fire today, gets it to Justine Smith and scores, and it's 3-1. That is exactly the kind of wing play I like to see here. Everybody kind of chipping in. Justine Smith gets it and passes the ball off to Same. Same, it looks like they just kind of run around each other. Same just gets the ball in. Justine Smith just taps the ball into the back of the net. It's 3-1 Chesham United over Scunthorpe United early, I should say early, but early enough in the second half. We get another highlight here as Mike Wozniak is immediately dispossessed with the ball. And that ball's just fired over the top corner. Juan Rizwan did not move, but hopefully knew that that was not going to trouble the keeper whatsoever. And we're heading into the last 20 minutes of the game. We're still up 3-1. I am going to go ahead and change our mentality here a little bit. I do like to do this. I know that some people are against it, but time wasting is a real thing. Let's see. Ray O'Leary. I don't really have a substitution for Ray O'Leary. I do it for Nish Kumar, but Kumar's playing particularly well today. Let's go ahead and get Judy Love in for, I'm going to leave that just in case. I don't really need to make a substitution right now. I kind of want to make a substitution. Let's go ahead and play for set pieces because that's been to our advantage for today. Ray O'Leary is apparently struggling. So there's the reason why. Mike Wozniak with the injury here. We're getting Rod Gelbert on. Let's hope that that is not a significant injury. Potential foot injury. Well, hopefully it's just a cramp or something because we do not need any players to be, especially our star players. Mike Wozniak is one that we brought in this season that we really, really, really hope has a significant difference on our midfield this season. Got about 7 minutes left until stoppage time. Scunthorpe United are going to clear the ball deep. Gets the ball back in the midfield and tries to work the ball up the field a little bit here. Gets the ball down the left-hand wing and just kind of innocently chips it to Moan Rizwan, who easily picks up the ball. No real issues there. We're going to head into the last couple minutes of the game here, and it looks like, fingers crossed, it is going to be a victory here for Chesham United. Nice to have a victory to start off the season. That's exactly what we're going to end up with. I could not be more chuffed about that. Madeline Same and Justine Smith have completely dominated this game in terms of their performances here. I mean, they 2 goals and an assist. 2 goals for Justine Smith, a goal and 2 assists for Madeline Same. Jenny Tien gets in on the action with an assist on that Madeline Same goal in the 17th minute. Fortunately, a missed penalty here is what has really allowed us to flourish throughout this game. That penalty goes in. It's a 2-2 game and very, very different story on how that might end up. But nice work, everyone. That's quite good. Love seeing that first win of the season. And that kind of puts us in a position to move forward. That's exactly how we want to start, and that's exactly how we want to continue. So that being said, we'll probably bring you in somewhere around September-ish just to give you an idea of where we're going to pick up next. We want to get some games under our belt here. Accrington Stanley was definitely a good rival last season. AFC Sudbury, were they promoted? Depromoted? Depromoted. Were they promoted? Were they relegated? I don't know. I don't remember seeing them last year. I could be very, very wrong. Where can I find out information about their club profile? That's not good enough. General. Nope. Yes, General. Okay, so they were actually promoted last season. They were promoted the last 2 seasons. Okay, so AFC Sudbury is kind of like the new kid on the block here. That might be an interesting one to bring you back. So we're probably looking at Accrington Stanley and Sudbury for our next 2 games. So that being said, hopefully you like that. Hopefully you're happy with the players that I've brought in so far. I'm quite happy with the players I brought in. Leave a like if you're interested in seeing more. Subscribe for more Taskmaster FC Chesham United content, and we'll see you very soon. Bye, everyone.